YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Naja coming back at y'all with yet another video. And yes, you saw the title. Today we're going over 7 tips to become wealthier. Let's go. So before I start, the overall purpose of this channel is to improve someone's overall life. And we all know one of the bigger aspects of improving your overall life is improving your financial situation. Now, I personally myself, I'm not a huge fan of accumulating things, but money can also help you buy yourself time to do things with family, maybe take vacations or go on trips that you wanted to go on. And it's overall just a good thing to have, to know how to actually get money. So recently, over the past few weeks, I've been reading this book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. You can check it out if you want to. I'm going to leave it in the description. But in the book, the character Arcad, he went over 7 cures, because this is during ancient times. He went over 7 cures that his students had to do in order to become wealthy. I felt like a lot of this stuff could actually fall into play in our own lives for us to adopt. So I'm going to go over them and hopefully it helps out. So the first tip that he gave was to start thy purse fattening. Now, if you're like me, I was wondering, what in the world does that mean? But he said for every 10 coins you earn, only spend 9. This means that you're saving money in some type of way. Of course, it doesn't just have to be 10% saved. You can go up if you feel like you need to. But when you're going to start to accumulate wealth, you're going to need to save some portion of your income. You can't just blow it all constantly and expect to build wealth. So the most important thing is to save something. If you can't save 10%, save 5%, save 1%, anything that will help. Also, one thing that he noted in the book was a lot of people, when they did adopt this, they realized that nothing changed in their livelihood, because a lot of times when people earn a little bit more, they're going to spend a little bit more. Sometimes they're going to spend stuff that they don't actually need. Figure out what you actually need to buy and buy those things, and the rest of it put towards building your own wealth. The second cure is control thy expenditures. Now in the book, he had a whole bunch of people with different professions in his class. He had brick makers, he had iron workers, he had all types of people. But for some reason, no matter what profession they had and no matter how much money they made, they all were still broke, or AKA had lean purses in the book. The reason this is because of overall just a lifestyle creep, if you ever heard of it. If you end up earning more, chances are you're probably going to end up spending more because your tastes go up. And the funny thing is, even currently, according to the Lending Club survey, they say around 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And people who make $100,000 a year, they say 40% of those people are living paycheck to paycheck. And for the people who make way less than $100,000 a year, I'm sure you're wondering, how in the world are you still living paycheck to paycheck when you're making 100K plus? But it's definitely doable. If you constantly want the new car, if you constantly want the bigger house, it's going to be really hard for you to actually save up and get anywhere. So it is important that you do, like in the book, control your expenditures. The third tip he gave was to make thy gold multiply. Now, I don't know about y'all, but usually people are not using gold to actually buy things. Wherever you are in the world, whether you're using your dollars, you're using yen, euros, pounds, whatever it is, we need to make that multiply. When he was talking about this in the book, he actually used investments in order to make his gold multiply. Of course, nowadays there's a ton of investments that you could actually look at. There's businesses that you could get passive income off of. Stocks, which is probably one of my favorite, even though sometimes it's not the most efficient. And of course, real estate. If you find something that's a good investment, it will definitely help your wealth grow and is a good thing to look at. The fourth tip is to guard thy treasures from loss. Now, this is extremely important when you have a small amount of money, that you learn how to guard yourself from any type of loss, because when you have a big amount, it's going to be a lot more impactful to your financial situation. One of the things that he recommended in the book was to seek wisdom from people who are very experienced. This can obviously give you an edge on the competition, because when we're not experienced, your chances are you're going to make a lot more mistakes. A lot of people do it in the stock market, they do it in real estate, they do it everywhere. But since I'm a stock market baby, I'm going to give y'all an example. If you lose 10% off of $10,000, it is a way different situation than you losing 10% off of $1 million. For this reason, a lot of people, when they actually get up in wealth, they transfer from the growth mindset from investing to more of a passive one, where they just want to stay in index funds. Maybe they'll get a couple CDs, something that's not going to give them a whole bunch of return, but it can protect themselves from money. So make sure you guard your losses. The fifth tip is make thy dwelling a profitable investment. Now in this part of the book, Arcad, he talks about home ownership. Now me personally, I do think there's times where renting is a little bit more beneficial than home ownership, but we're not about to get into this video. But in the book, he says that home ownership, it could lower your cost of living, which it absolutely can. Once you pay off your home, you don't have to worry about paying a mortgage in order to keep a roof over your head. When you're renting, it's never ending. You're never going to stop paying rent. And if you go into a bad financial situation, you will still have to worry about paying that rent money. If you have a house, you don't have to worry about that. And overall, home ownership gives you a lot more peace of mind having your home paid off and just chilling in it. And usually it becomes a great asset for you in the future. And the sixth tip is ensure a future income. Now in the book, he goes over a little bit of like weird methods for them ensuring a future income, but it's a little different. We're not in ancient times anymore. We have a lot more resources for us to actually ensure a future income. Just make sure that you're putting something towards your future and having a plan. Yes, this means a retirement plan. Have a 401k. If your company has like a 401k match, do the 401k match. They have Roth IRAs, you overall planning, pensions, anything that you could get a hold of is important for you in your old age because you do not know what type of condition that you're going to be in. A lot of people, when they pass 70, they don't even have the ability to work at all. So they need something to sustain themselves. You don't want to be in a position where you're homeless or you're fighting for your house and you're 70 years old because it's not pretty. I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want any of y'all to be in that situation. So ensure a future income. Now, the seventh tip that he gave in the book was to increase thy ability to earn. And he actually said that this was one of the most important things for you to do. And I absolutely agree. If you don't earn enough, you won't even be able to invest to actually become wealthy. So it's extremely important that you do this. In the book, he recommends that you do things better than anybody else by increasing your skills. You can do this by getting more education, just getting more experience in your position, doing a little bit more work than anybody else does. Of course, we know that just working hard isn't going to get you very far. You also have to work smart. So make sure that you get your education. But honestly, thinking about it, you would be surprised at how much people would pay for somebody who has excellent skills. If you think about a barber, you usually get like a decent salary, but it's nothing crazy. But then you see the barbers online where they have perfected their craft. They massaging your head while they're doing your haircut. They're giving you the spray, the foam, the whole spa treatment, and they're getting a straight bank. They're cutting celebrities. They're traveling. They're making millions. They're doing all this crazy stuff. And I believe that you could do that in any field, whether you're in photography, art, whatever. It might be a little bit harder in some fields, but if you become noticeable and you stand out and people see that you're delivering a great product, they will definitely pay for it. But whatever you do, find a way to increase your income and it will help you in your wealth building journey. But I will say these 7 tips from this book are overall really great things to look at and apply to your life to actually help you become wealthier. I would say to check out this book and actually read it though, because not only do they have these 7 tips, it also has a lot of mindset shifts when you read this book as far as financially that could actually help you change your financial situation. So if you're looking for financial freedom, financial independence, or whatever, financial stability, whatever, if you're looking for it, read this book. It'll definitely change your life. But the only way I could think about for you to become wealthier is to become lucky. And if you want to do that, I have a video, evidence-based ways for you to become luckier. So if you want to check that out, click this video right here. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.